subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! It might be early, but footy season is upon us.
Yes, sir. Super League.
How are we, lads?
Wow. That intro, so much memories there.
Let's get this microphone adjusted a little bit. All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Tonight I am joined by CJ Moxley, and we're going to be doing a early Super League 2023 predictions video. We are 64 days away from the 2023 Super League season getting underway. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait for the season to start. It's going to be fantastic. 12 clubs, all in mind for one goal to try and win the 2023 Grand Final. CJ Moxley, thanks for coming on the channel, bro. How have you been, my friend?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah, I'm doing really well. Nearly Christmas time, nearly the new year,
Yes.
and especially near footy season. So, really keen to see our predictions early for the Super League in a couple of months.
Yes, 100%. It's going to be interesting. I wonder if we're going to have much different. Obviously, me and you watch the Super League here in Australia, and we get up at some of the most crazy times. So it's unbelievable, our commitment to the Super League and the way we watch it. I think it's fantastic, and I love it. And people criticize the Super League, but I criticize it because I don't watch it, and they just have no idea what they're talking about.
Nothing
They're just
to
talking rubbish at
criticise.
that point. You know, I'll say this. I'll give you guys a bit of a funny but true story. There was a game a couple of years ago. I think it was Wakefield Trinity up against League when League were in the Super League before they got relegated. Now they're back in the Super League. It was Wakefield versus League. The game kicked off at like 3 a.m. New South Wales time. It was on KO and on Fox Sports there. And you know what I did? I got up. I watched the goddamn game. Wakefield and League are pretty horrible sides. They're not great teams. I got up and watched the damn game. Went back to bed for an hour. Went to work on about 3 hours sleep. That's how much I love the Super League. It doesn't matter who's playing. It doesn't matter if it's the bottom teams, the top teams, the mid-range teams. If there's a Super League game on Fox or KO at 3, 2, 1, 4, 5 a.m., it don't matter. I will be up and I will be watching. So I just love the Super League. I think it's a fantastic competition and it deserves to get a lot more praise. And I know people don't watch it, and I know it's hard for some people to get up that time, but I love it. I love the Super League. It's a phenomenal competition. It really is.
If you watch the Super League, you'll see it has a lot of similar quality to the NRL, so it's nothing really to criticise.
Yes. Now, yes, the NRL is the number one competition. I think we all agree with that. But don't criticise the Super League if you don't watch it. It's just unfair. Also, I was talking to the King the other night, and he was telling me that he reckons some of the tries in the Super League are better than the NRL. So, I guess that'll be a question for other people to answer.
Yeah,
But it's a very, very interesting debate to bring up. All right. Holy shit, my computer's all over the place. All right, before we get into our predictions, I want to say hello to everybody that's in the live chat. Hello to Cody Games PlayStation, Jason Reader, Josh Rabideau's 2023, Electrical Dust, Flash Toe Targo, SS Storm Fan. Plenty of people in the live chat tuning in, so it's gonna be good to see what the crowd's like in or not. But we've got about 10 people watching the stream at the moment. So if you're new, make sure you like and subscribe. Share the video around on social media, and let's try and let's get to 3,000 subscribers. Let's keep the roll going. All right, CJ, what we're going to do first is we're going to give away our predictions early. So we're going to go out our early ladder prediction. Like I said, 64 days away until the Super League season starts. We're going to start off with 12th. CJ, who's going to come 12th in 2023? Who do you reckon is going to get relegated next season?
Wakefield. Why? I just their coach. I don't know too much about the coach. I think they do, Mum. They do suck. Their inexperience. Their squad is just very ordinary. I know they bring in players like George Defoe and Renoff Tony, but
Kevin Proctor,
they've been very lucky the last few years to escape relegation. So I think this year it's going to come and bite them, and they'll be relegated. Wakefield.
Yeah, look, I can't disagree with you on that one, and I'm actually going to be a little bit boring here and go with the exact same. I think Wakefield will be relegated. They haven't bought much. I don't think their squad is that great. I am going to have a look at their ins and outs for their squad right now, CJ. And they did buy Simasoni Langi from Catalan, which is a good pickup in the centres. Kevin Proctor has gone over there. And Morgan Smith from the Featherstone Rovers has gone over there as well. But it's hard to really imagine Wakefield winning many games next season. They did lose James Batchelor. They did lose Tom Johnson, Jacob Miller, David Fafita, Arona, Brad Walker. They have lost a lot. So I think Wakefield got worse. So if they're going to get worse, then they might actually go down and get relegated. Wakefield must have... There's some sort of curse for Wakefield. They always seem to avoid relegation. But, look, Proctor might be a good addition. Simasoni Langi might be a good addition. But losing James Batchelor, bro, I reckon that's a massive loss for Wakefield.
I do too. I think James Batchelor adds a lot to that Wakefield side, especially the impact he can provide. I think it's a big loss.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine Wakefield surviving next season. So I think Wakefield will be relegated to the championship. So we'll see what happens. But we both agree, Wakefield to finish 12th in 2023. CJ, who do you reckon will finish the 11th position, second last? Who comes second last next year?
Hull KR, I reckon.
Why?
Because he said so.
Fuck off. I think Hull KR comes second last just because the way they finished off last year, I know they had an injury toll. Fuck off. Willie Peters comes in as head coach. I don't know too much about him. I know he worked at South, but he's inexperienced, so I don't think that helps their cause. The injury toll last year hurts him, and I just think that going into next year, the combinations are a bit wonky, and I think they'll come 11th.
They did gain a little bit, to be fair, CJ. They did get Sam Luckley from Salford, which ain't a bad addition. They did pick up James Batchelor. Lewis Senior will be good for him. Opacek's gone over there. Sawasa Sue and Reese Kennedy has gone over there as well. So it's hard to really get a read on Hull KR next season. They did lose Albert Vete. Ben Crooks is gone. Corbin Sims gone. Takarangi gone. So, look, it's going to be really interesting to see how Hull KR go, but can you see them getting higher than 11th, bro?
Yeah, I think they have potential to go higher than 11th, but I don't think they will go any as high as 8th, in my opinion.
Okay, well, you've got Hull KR in 11th. Who I've got in 11th, I've actually gone with League, the new team. They're back in the Super League. Now, they were called the League
Centurions.
Centurions. I think that's the best way I pronounce it yet. They're now known as the League Leopards, which is very, very interesting. A lot of people are upset about that. The League Leopards.
Shit.
I've got them 11th, bro. I think they're going to go okay. I think they're going to avoid relegation. I really do. I think they have bought well. Oliver Holmes, good addition. Zach Hardaker's gone there. Ricky Latelli, Gareth O'Brien, Jack Hughes. So they have bought okay. They did lose a bit though in Nane McDonald and Sam Stone and
Yeah, that's right.
Mark Lone and Caleb Akins.
Ferguson as well.
Ferguson's gone too. They lost Nane McDonald as well, I believe. So it's going to be interesting to see how League go next year. But I reckon they will avoid relegation. I've got them coming 11th, and you've gone with the Rovers for 11th.
Yeah, mate.
Interesting. What about 10th? Who gets 10th?
Oh, I'm going to go for Lee. I think the Leopards will improve. They're obviously coming into Super League under a new brand, and I think that's a way of just saying that they're going to go forward. Although they've lost Blake Ferguson, Nana McDonald, etc., I think they got a good coach there in Adrian Lamb. He knows what it takes to take a team up. For me, Lee will improve. They bought very well. They've got good experience in their side, and I just can't see them being relegated. I think there's just too much experience and talent in that team.
Yep. No, fair enough. Well, see, in 10th, I've got Hull KR, so we've got it the other way around. We just spoke about Hull KR and League in that same bloody sentence. And so, interesting. We've got Hull KR and League in a very similar spot. Now, let's go to the next prediction. Who will come 9th?
Ninth?
Who have you got for 9th?
I've got Castleford at 9th. I
Why?
think last year they nearly made the playoffs, obviously, but Salford ended their chances of that.
And then they choked against Leeds in that last round.
Yeah, that's right. They choked against Leeds. I know they bought Gareth Witter, but he's a bit injury prone and he's getting older now. And they've also bought Jacob Miller, which I thought was pretty decent, but I don't really trust Lee Radford as their coach. I'll be completely honest.
He's hanging on, isn't he?
Yeah, and for me, Castleford just have a very ordinary squad on paper. So
it's hard to imagine Castleford doing a whole lot. Now, I have Castleford. I don't have them in 9th, but they did buy Albert Vete. They did buy Gareth Widdop, Jack Broadbent, and Jacob Miller. So I suppose I've got a little bit of stability in the halves now with Gareth Widdop and Jacob Miller. But you got to remember, Gareth Widdop, he's getting older. His shoulders are very fragile at the moment. Albert Vete is getting old. I like the addition of Jacob Miller, and I do like the addition of Jack Broadbent as well. But I just don't understand why they would want to go so hard for someone like Gareth Widdop, whose shoulders are absolutely stuffed. Widdop is one more shoulder injury away from retirement, so they're crazy.
Yep.
They lost Jake Truman. They lost Daryl Offerts. O'Brien's gone. James Clare, Chase Blair, Sasai Feki, all gone. So Castleford are a weird one, aren't they?
Yeah, I can't really see them doing anything too special this year. I think they'll be good, but nothing too special.
Well, for me, the team I reckon will finish 9th, bro. I reckon it'll be Hull FC. I reckon the Black and Whites. Now, Hull FC lost a lot, but they also gained a little bit as well. They lost Jake Connor, Manu Ma'u, Will Smith, Jordan Johnson, Jacob Hookham, Luke Gale, and Adrian Burrell. But they did pick up Jake Truman. They picked up Liam Sutcliffe, Brad Dwyer, Jake Clifford, Tex Hoy. Now, Clifford and Hoy from the Newcastle Knights, they should go okay. They should go all right. Truman as well. So, Hull FC, at least they've actually got their spine just about ready to go. Their spine's going to be Tex Hoy, Truman, Clifford, and Danny Houghton. So at least Hull FC have got their spine in order. Brad Dwyer, he might start. He might come off the bench. I think he'll come off the bench. But for me, bro, Hull FC, I don't think they're a finals team, but I think they'll come about 9th.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Fair enough.
And in eighth, obviously, I've got Castleford, and you. Who have you got in eighth?
We're doing another swap. I've got Hull FC in eighth.
Oh, fantastic.
They got a new coach in Tony Smith, which I think will provide a lot.
Definitely.
They've got Tex Hoy, Jake Clifford, but I seriously am so concerned about the loss of Jake Connor.
Oh, big loss.
Just losing someone of his caliber is going to really... it might take a toll on them. Obviously, they've got Tex Hoy to come in, but Tex Hoy is still young. He's still learning. He's still developing. And their halves are good. I like their halves next year. But I just can't... I can see them playing finals, but...
I can't.
I think they'll miss out because the other teams are improving. So for me, Hull FC, improving team, but just not there yet.
The only way I can see Hull FC making the finals next season is if Jake Clifford clicks and everything goes well, and Jake Clifford's a contender for Man of Steel, which is not impossible. And I think he could be a bit of a smoky for the Man of Steel, but it's hard to really pick Jake Connor. It's very hard to pick someone like Jake Clifford to do that, considering Hull FC have been pretty ordinary the last couple of years. So Hull FC are interesting. Castleford are interesting. We both got them at 9 and 8, and both pretty much swapped them around. Now let's go to 7th. Who's going to just miss out on the playoffs, CJ? Who have you got in 7th?
This is probably the most controversial call of the video. I think Catalans will not play finals in 2023.
Guess what? I agree. I got Catalans in 7th as well. We both got them in 7th.
Yeah, bro. I just think they've lost some as well. You know,
I've lost heaps.
Obviously, Napa and Vare won't be there next year. The loss of Josh Drinkwater.
That's a massive loss. Makes it harder for Mitchell Pearce now.
Yeah, so a lot of more pressure will go into Mitchell Pearce. I think they've bought well, though. They've got Tom Johnstone, Manu Ma'u, but...
Yeah, so just hold on a second there, CJ. I'll tell you what they've got and what they've lost. So what they've gained Tom Johnson on the wing with Phil Yaha.
Right.
They've gained Manu Ma'u, C.Y. Takayaho, Adam Kieran, and Romain Navarrete. And what they've lost Sam Cassiano, Gil Dudson, Josh Drinkwater, Simasoni Langi, Joe Chan. They've lost Koza. They've lost Benjamin Julian, Dane Farre, Romain Franco, and Dylan Napa. They have lost a lot. Yes, they've gained a little bit with Johnson, Manu Ma'u, and Takayaho, Adam Kieran. But, they've lost a bit.
I'm also concerned with their record in England.
Yes.
It seems like they can't really play in England. And the way they finished off last season, they were lucky to hang on into that playoffs position. It's dreadful. I just can't trust them next year, bro. I think they're going to drop out. I really do.
The problem with Catalans is exactly what you said. Their record away from France last year was dreadful. I think they only won 1 or 2 games in the UK for the entire year, which was really disappointing for a team that has Sam Tompkins, Mitchell Pearce, and all these sort of players. Yeah. And look, I think they are going to struggle with a bit of depth in the forwards now. I think Takayaho and Manu Ma'u is a good addition, but Manu Ma'u, he's getting old. Takayaho is going over there at a good age. Johnson on the wing is a good one, but I've lost so much. I really have.
Yeah, bro, they've lost, and the pressure is now on Mitchell Pearce. You'd think to deliver
a lot of pressure on Mitchell Pearce and Sam Tompkins now. It's going to make Catalans a bit more vulnerable. Now that means Tyrone May might go to 5'8" and Adam Kieran to the centres, but they are a very, very vulnerable team. The only way Catalans make the finals is if they can win games on the road. They have to win away.
That's their problem. They have to win.
That's the problem. If they can win away from home, they'll be on their way. All right, now let's go to the top 6, CJ. The 6th seed. Who have you got finishing 6?
I've got Salford in 6. I think they'll back up what they did last year. The likes of Brodie Croft, who was tremendous last year for years, he'll play a big part in taking Salford to back-to-back final series. Ken see Tim Laff. I just think I look at Salford and it seems to be a really good aura around the place. You've seen their training clips. They'd be really fired up, especially after last year's prelim. So,
oh my God.
they'll be determined to get back there. Guys, I really do. And I think they'll be playing finals footy next year. And Paul Rowley, got to give the credit to him. He's done a tremendous
Coach of the year last year.
Yep, exactly.
Well, let's just go through Salford a little bit. Now, look, I do support Salford in the Super League. In case any of the new viewers that are watching this don't know who we support, I support Salford and CJ supports Warrington. Now, the thing with Salford next year is what they have gained. They've picked up Oliver Partington from the Wire, Sam Sidlow and Sam Stone, both from League. Andrew Dixon from Toulouse has gone over. Longstaff from Warrington, that back row. Longstaff is a very good player. I think he'll be a good addition. But Salford, they did lose a little bit. Harvey Levette's gone to Huddersfield. Greg Bird and Jack Wells have gone out of the Borough Raiders. Elijah Taylor's gone to Featherstone, and Morgan Escrow has gone as well. They did lose a bit. But you're looking at what Salford have at the moment. They've got Brodie Croft, the current reigning man of steel. Mark Sneed, who played for England in the World Cup. Watkins, CO, Laffey, Ryan Briley, Joe Burgess. Lots of quality in that team. Salford's forward pack last year was very good as well. They also got the hooker there, fucking
Andy Ackers.
Andy Ackers. He played for England in the World Cup. It was fantastic as well. So you got to think Salford last year, they were very good and they were a penalty try away from being potentially in the grand final, which they should have been. But anyway, that's another video for another time. We all know Salford were robbed against Saints in the prelim. But you look at Salford's team, you look at what they did last year, they have a very similar team to what they had last year. They're only going to improve. The combinations are only going to get better. So I'm surprised you got them at 6, bro. I'm surprised that you don't have them any higher, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is our really early Super League ladder predictions.
Yeah.
But at this stage, I think they'll make it. But yeah, I think they just scrape in.
Yeah. All right. Well, you've got Salford in 6. Who I have in 6, I have the 2022 grand finalist, Leeds.
Ooh.
I think Leeds will finish 6th next season. Now, the reason I'm not so high on Leeds is because they have lost a little bit as well. They have gained well, but they have lost a little bit. Now, what Leeds have done, they've gained Daryl Alferts, Nane McDonald, James McDonald, Sam Lasone. Look at a few other players there that I'm not too familiar with, and who they've lost. They've lost Liam Sutcliffe, Brad Dwyer, Zach Hardacre, Tom Briscoe, Jack Broadbent, Bodane Thompson, Jack Walker, and Matt Pryor. Leeds have lost a little bit. There's no doubt about that. I've got them as 6 seed. I think they'll be a top 6 team again. They should make the playoffs. If they don't, it would be a massive disappointment. So for me, Leeds, they have enough quality there. They should be good enough to make the finals again. So I've got Leeds finishing in 6. Now, CJ, 5th. Who have you got in 5th?
I got my boys, Dwyer, Warrington.
Me too. I got Warrington 5th as well.
There we go. Well, I think we should improve this year. There's no way we're a bottom 3 team again.
No way.
We've bought really, really good experience, especially in the forwards. We got Josh Maguire coming over.
Yeah, so I'll go through it, CJ. So what Warrington have gained next season? Sam Cassiano, Gil Dudson, Josh Drinkwater, Josh Maguire, Paul Vaughan, and Matty Russell. They have gone shopping. And what they've lost, Oliver Holmes, Jack Hughes, Rob Mulham, Matt Davis, Jacob Gannon, Gareth Whittup, Jason Clark, Toby King, Ellis Longstaff, and Riley Dean. They've lost a bit, but I reckon their recruitment is a lot better than what they've lost.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I really like what we've recruited this year. Replacing Whittup with Drinkwater, I think, was really good.
Yes.
And, yeah, we have to make finals this year, or Darryl Powell is dead man walking. And I'm really confident heading into 2023. I think we've bought well, and our squad is looks to be gelling well.
100%. His microphone decided to just fall off. Typical. A bit like Warrington every year, fall off a cliff.
Yeah,
no.
that's the cons of it all.
Look, for me, the Wire. I think they'll finish fifth as well, bro. I think what they've turned off. What the Warrington Bulls have done is, yes, they've gone shopping, and it might be a little bit selfish of them to not recruit, keep their young players and all that. But the position that Warrington were in last season, they nearly got relegated. They had to go shopping, bro. They had to go to the market. They had to pick up these experienced players like Cassiano, Vaughan, Maguire, Drinkwater, all these sort of players, Matty Russell. Yes, they probably went shopping maybe a little bit too much, but they had no choice.
Well,
They had to do it.
It was
They had to do it.
desperation, but it had to be done because the position we were in last year is not something we're supposed to be at yet.
Will Daryl Powell be coaching after this year? After the season?
If he misses finals again, he's gone.
What if Warrington had 2 wins and 7 losses to start the year? Is he gone?
Yep, he's gone.
Yeah, I think so as well. Warrington have to start the year well, and they are involved in the season opener against the Leeds Rhinos, so that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But we agree. We both got Warrington in 5th, so that's going to be interesting to see how they go next year. 4th. Now in 4th, I've got Salford. Who have you got in 4th?
I've got the Wigan Warriors in 4th.
Really?
Last year they were supposed to be the team that was to slide a bit, but they proved a lot wrong. Matty P done a terrific job as coach, and I just think having Bevan French there still was a massive boost.
Yeah.
And I think Wigan, they're just a team that'll always be that top 6, top 5. So, yeah, they're only going to get better as a team. And their record at the DW Stadium was scary last year, and I'm assuming they'll probably replicate that heading into this one. So, yeah, I think Wigan top 4, unfortunately.
Yeah, look, I think Wigan are a very interesting team next year. They haven't really bought much.
No.
They picked up Jake Wardle and Toby King, which is good. I think they definitely needed to do something to their backline, make it a bit stronger. They did lose Ollie Partington to Salford, Jake Bibby and Jack Bibby are gone, and Tommy Lulai has retired as well. Wigan might be a little bit more vulnerable, bro, but I still reckon they're going to be a really good team. I don't reckon they'll come 4th. I've actually got Salford. I've actually got Salford finishing 4th next season. Now, we just spoke about Salford before. I think what they've got there is a really good unit of guys that could potentially win the entire thing next season. So, look, you've got Wigan in 4th. I've got Salford there. We've already spoken a little bit about Salford. I've got them in 4th. I think they'll have a fantastic season next year, especially with Brody Croft and Sneyd once again together and Andy Uggers at hooker. What do you think Wigan 4 to 4th, bro? Do you think they've just? Do you think other teams have just gotten better, or do you think it's just a case of maybe they're starting to go back a little bit?
I don't think they're going backwards. I think it's just more so the other 3 teams I'm going to name in front of them. They look to have a better roster than what they have. And I just think Wigan, the loss of Tommy Lulai is
experience-wise, leadership.
He was their half for a very long time. And to replace that, it's only going to be tough. But they should still replicate what they did last year, you'd think.
Yeah. All right. Well, in 3rd, I've got Wigan. We just spoke about Wigan. They're going to be a hard team to beat next year. I think Wigan will finish 3rd. And I think the likes of Jai Field, Bevan French, all these sort of players, John Bateman, if Bateman doesn't go to the West Tigers.
Yeah.
Kai Pearce-Paul's still there. He's going to the Newcastle Knights next year. So I've got Wigan finishing in 3rd, and I reckon they're going to have a great season. But what about yourself, CJ? Who do you reckon gets 3rd?
I think the Huddersfield Giants get 3rd. They have a really good team. They're building. I really like what Huddersfield are doing. The addition of Jake Connor is going to really, really help him. I don't know where they're going to play him, whether fullback or not, because Will Price. But their halves, I really liked what the Huddersfield halves did last year. And they're a team on the rise. I really rate Huddersfield. I can see them competing for that League Leader Shield. I think they'll be really good this year, but I think just top 3 sums it up, and I think that's fair.
I think Huddersfield are in for a massive season, bro. I'm not even kidding. They finished third last year. Huddersfield finished third last year and went out the first week against Salford, which was disappointing for the Huddersfield Giants.
At John Smith Stadium, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like 28-0 or something. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's right.
Huddersfield, on the other hand, bro, this is what they've got and what they've lost. So they've got Jake Bibby, they've got Jack Bibby, Jake Connor, which is the big one, Harvey Levette, Nathan Peets, Kevin Nguama, Harry Rushton, and Isan Masters.
They bought
Huddersfield have gone shopping, and they have gone shopping very well. And what they've lost, Lewis Senior, Jake Wardle, Ricky Latelli, Michael Lawrence, Danny Levi's gone as well, and George Roby gone.
Nothing too major, but
Ricky Latelli's a big loss for defense in the centers. But gee whiz, man. Their spine next year is going to be so good to watch. They've got Lola here, Jake Connor, Will Price. Gee whiz. The Gummer in the centers.
They are seriously going to fret a lot of teams next year, I think. You're in for a massive year, man.
So you've got Huddersfield in third. I've got Wigan in third. Now let's go to the top 2. Second, I've got Huddersfield. We just spoke about Huddersfield. I reckon they'll finish second. I think they've got a quality team. They're going to be very hard to beat at the John Smith Stadium. And let me just say this. If Connor, Lola here, and Will Price, if that all gels, look out. That's all I'm saying.
That could be one of the best in the comp. Dead set.
I reckon Huddersfield could score the most tries next year out of all the teams. I'm not gonna.
They're attacking. Their attack. They could put 20 to 30 every week. Really.
They could score 28 points a game, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, now let's go to second. Now I've got Huddersfield. Who have you got in second spot?
I've got the reigning 4-time defending premiers, St. Helens.
Why?
I think they don't go top this year. I guess it's not too fair to say it, but I am basing it off the loss of Christian Wolf. I do understand they do got Paul Wellens there, he's a club legend, so he knows the club. But I just think Christian Wolf, he's a big loss to the club, and they've also lost. Well, I'm sure you'll go over it, but they've had their time in the sun, and I don't think they'll go backwards. But I just think this year they'll drop off a tiny bit, and I just think. Yeah, St. Helens. They're still going to be up there, but I just think not the top this year.
It's a big call, considering Saints have won the last 4 grand finals. Can they win 5 grand finals in a row? We are experiencing a phenomenal dynasty with St. Helens, man. Now, what they've gained and what they've lost, now they have picked up Wesley Bruins from the South Sydney Rabbitohs. I don't even know who that is. You might know more about that.
Yeah, he's a young kid who I think plays in the outside backs, to my understanding. Good kid. I think that's good, but I don't think they'll use him much.
And they've also got T. Ritson from the Borough Raiders on a loan deal. And who they've lost, well, they haven't lost much. Cole Amor has gone to Widnes, and Regan Grace has gone. Where did he go?
Rugby Union.
Rugby Union?
Yeah.
And they've also lost Josh Sim to the Wynnum Manly Seagulls. Now, just for you guys that watch NRL and Queensland Cup and stuff, keep an eye on Josh Sim. If he gets a run, look out. He's a weapon of a player.
Yeah, bro. He's coming to Q Cup. That's actually solid.
He's got potential. So you reckon Saints will finish second? That's interesting for me because I look at their team, bro, and I don't see many losses for St. Helens next year. They've still got unbelievable team. Wellesby, Lomax, Roby, unbelievable. Percival, Makinson, Walmsley, Nolas, what is that? Sheridan, Joe Batchelor. List goes on. Joey Lussick. It's an incredible team. I don't know if St. Helens will even lose a game at home next year, to be honest. They might, but they're so hard to beat at the totally wicked stadium.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't shock me if they go undefeated there next year. But
Wouldn't be shocked either. All right. I've got Huddersfield finishing second, so top. Obviously, for me, I reckon St. Helens will finish first. They'll win the league leaders' shield once again. They've won the last 4 grand finals for me. St. Helens finish top.
I think the Leeds Rhinos finished top.
That's
I
a
am
big call.
very sold on Leeds coming into this season. What they did last year is not replicated by many. They were talked up to be going down at one point, and then Rohan Smith comes in, transforms that team around, makes it on a run to a grand final, and I think they're going to carry that momentum into next season. Just look at their players, man. You've got Ash Hanley, you've got Austin, Caesar. You can go on.
Nana McDonald's gone there.
Yeah, that's right. Nana McDonald. He's very
Sam
well.
Lasone replaces Matt Pryor.
I thought he went to. Oh yeah, he came to Leeds. Yeah, bro. I think Leeds are a dangerous team next year, and I think it's a team you'd want to avoid, especially when you go to the Headingley.
We spoke about Leeds before because I had them finishing 6th, and you've got them as actually coming first. So we got a little bit of a different opinion on Leeds. The thing with Leeds is they started the year so poorly last year, and they were almost talked about getting relegated. They ended up sacking Richard Agar. They bring in Rowan Smith. He turns them around at the back end of the year, around the halfway mark. Leeds ended up finishing 5th, making the grand final, losing to Saints, which is no shame at all.
No shame.
If they finish top, they finish top. I'd honestly be a little bit surprised if they did. I don't know if they're consistent enough to finish top, but we'll find out.
Just got to start well.
I think Dale Offitz will be a good signing as well. He might play on the wing or in the centres.
That's where he went. He went to Leeds, did he?
Yeah, he went to Leeds with
Well,
McDonald.
that just solidifies my point as well.
So they'll have what? They'll have Ash Hanley on one wing, Offitz on the other. McDonald might play in the centres.
Fusatua somewhere in there?
I think Fusatua's still there. He might be in the other centres. I don't know. Be interesting to see what they do.
That's scary.
It'll be very, very intriguing to see what the Leeds Rhinos do. Now, you might not agree with this one, bro, but I reckon Jack Broadbent's a big loss for Leeds. I really do.
Yeah. Well, I can see why.
Hardacre, I know Hardacre left. He may not have been the most popular player, but losing Zach Hardacre, I think that's a massive loss at the centres. I really do.
Yeah, he's a very good strike player. He's a dangerous player, especially.
He can play all over the place. Centre, wing, fullback,
He's versatile.
5'8".
So they lose some sort of cover there, but I just have a feeling that they're going to cover that really well.
The thing with Nane McDonald going there is he's a big body. Like he's a really big body, so he'll be able to hold his own there in the centres. Maybe Hardacre defensively needs to improve a little bit, but I mean Hardacre's been promised the fullback spot at league, so of course he's going to leave.
Oh yeah, fair enough. But I really like what Leeds are building. Just basing it off of last year, I think they're going to bring that momentum into next season.
Yeah. All right. Now let's talk about so before we go to our Man of Steel prediction, we'll just go for our ladder again real quick. So CJ, if you can go from 12 to 1, and then I'll go from 12 to 1. So give us your prediction, your top 12 real quick, and then we'll go to the Man of Steel prediction.
So getting relegated to 12th is Wakefield Trinity. 11th is Hull KR. 10th is Leigh Leopards. 9th, Castleford. 8th, Hull FC. 7th, Catalans. 6th, Salford. 5th, Warrington. 4th, Wigan. 3rd, Huddersfield. 2nd, St. Helens. And the league leaders at the top are Leeds Rhinos.
Okay. Well, for me, Nick from Australia's early Super League 2023 ladder prediction. 12th, the team to come last and get relegated, I've got Wakefield. 11th, the League Leopards. 10th, Hull Kingston Rovers. 9th, Hull FC. 8th, the Castleford Tigers. 7th, the Catalan Dragons. And now the playoffs, the top 6. Sixth, I've got the Leeds Rhinos. Fifth, the Warrington Wolves. Fourth, the Salford Red Devils. Third, the Wigan Warriors. Second, the Huddersfield Giants. And number one, looking to win their fifth grand final in a row, St. Helens to finish top and be the league leaders, winner of the league leaders shield once again. Now, Men of Steel predictions, CJ. Men of Steel is so open. Last year, we were talking about Paul McShane. We're talking about George Williams. We're talking about Jack Wellesby, Johnny Lomax. Who do you think wins the Man of Steel next season, bro? I think the Man of Steel is very open next season.
The Man of Steel in 2023. Hate to be boring, but I think it's going to be Bevan French. I think
Wow.
Bevan French for Wigan Warriors will get the Man of Steel. He's just such a talented player. I like Bevan French. Just what he can do for that Wigan team is phenomenal, and him as an individual player, he's a top player, top 5 in the Super League. I genuinely believe it. And I believe next year it's going to go to another level. He'll be Man of Steel.
Yeah, well, that's a very interesting prediction. If you go back to last year, it was Jai Field, Bevan French, and Brody Croft, the 3 remaining contenders for the Man of Steel, and the winner was obviously Brody Croft. Now, Bevan French is a very good prediction. For me, this is going to sound quite boring as well, but I think this guy might win the Man of Steel next year, and I'm going with Jai Field from the Wigan Warriors. I think Jai Field will win the Man of Steel next season, not Bevan French. I've gone with Jai Field. I think Jai Field last year was a little bit hard done by. He couldn't have done much more to win the Man of Steel, to be honest with you. I thought he was a bit unlucky not to win the Man of Steel. So, look, I think Jai Field might win the Man of Steel next year. Sorry.
So
for me, I'm going to go with Jai Field.
Someone says, who does George Williams play for? He plays for Warrington.
The Warrington Wolves. All right. Grand final prediction. Let's do it, CJ. This is so hard. There are so many good teams, man. You mean St. Helens, can they make it and win 5 in a row? Huddersfield good enough to get there? Will Wigan make it once again? Can Salford get there after being robbed last year? Are Leeds going to get there again? Can they do it 2 years in a row? Warrington, can they bounce back? Are Catalan Dragons even going to be a contender? Who the hell knows? CJ Moxley, what is your 2023 Super League Grand Final prediction and winner?
Before I say it, this will most likely change when we do our official prediction.
Yes.
I'll be backing Warrington, but I don't think at the moment I'm going with the grand final of the Leeds Rhinos and the Huddersfield Giants.
No St. Helens.
The St. Helens dynasty will end. I think that I wouldn't be shocked if they make it, but at the moment I believe Leeds will win the comp. I just think there's a lot in that team where I can see them just winning it, and I believe Leeds will win and they'll beat Huddersfield in a close one.
So Leeds to win the whole thing.
Yes, Huddersfield heartbreak, Leeds redemption.
For me, I think St. Helens get there again. I don't see many teams being able to beat St. Helens in big match situations. So I think St. Helens will be in the grand final, and people are going to call me biased, but I don't give a shit. I reckon Salford have the team. They have the squad to get there. Brody Croft, Mark Sneed, Andy Ackers. It's good enough. I think it's going to be a St. Helens versus Salford grand final in 2023. And I think, obviously, I'm going to back Salford to go all the way next year. I look at Salford, bro, and look, I might be a little bit biased in saying this, but for the first time in a very long time, I think Salford could genuinely win it next season.
Well, they should be able to replicate what they did last season. They're only going to get better, so.
Well, they didn't get worse.
Well, confidence is there for Salford fans, and why not?
It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. But I've got Saints and Salford, and you've got Leeds and Huddersfield, which is very different.
Yeah, bro. I think it'll probably change later on when we do our official prediction, but that's what I'm sticking with.
Well, mate, we're 64 days away from the season starting. We're not that long away now, about 9 or 10 weeks away. We're getting close now. CJ, Thanks for taking the time to come on to tonight's live stream. It's been good. It's been a good show.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, bro. No worries. I love the Super League streams. Great competition, and I cannot wait for it to start in 64 days.
Yeah, me too, bro. And thank you to everybody in the live chat that tuned in. It's been a great show. Live chat's been very good as well. All right, we're gonna get on out of here. If you guys enjoyed tonight's live stream, make sure you like and subscribe and do all that good stuff. Anyway, guys, we're getting out of here. Enjoy your night.
Warrington 2023 from